Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am building with the new pack Kitchen Clutter that was just released today. This is a kit and it is just build by mode, and I wanted to build a kitchen, obviously, that kind of resembled either a Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon, or what I think of during the holidays, because this is definitely what my kitchen looks like whenever I'm baking stuff for the holidays. And I know that this kitchen is a little bit bigger, and the back wall is going to be blank because you could use it, however you want to. But I used the new fridge from the pack, and I thought it would come in a color that would match, but it didn't. And here I was trying to see if I had like the mismatched countertops and the upper cabinets, and I did not like it. I saw something similar like this in real life, and I was like, oh, that looks nice there, but it does not look nice. At least in my opinion, it doesn't look that nice. So mostly in this pack I used the kitchen clutter, but I did use other items as well to kind of fill in where the pack did not have what I needed. And what I found interesting was there's not a lot of green palettes on here. There might be hints of green, but not like the theme of the kitchen. And I found these little tapestries kind of interesting because it reminds me of these little stick-on things that you have or that you can purchase at Walmart that you can put on your walls, because it's like, it just looks like a half wall in a way, and you just stick them on there. And I thought they were going to be bigger so they'd cover the whole wall, but they didn't. I was trying to figure out what background, or not background, but what wallpaper I wanted. I wasn't sure if I was going to want brick or if I was going to want tile. For the longest time I was just using this tile right here, which it's not tile, but it's just like half wood, half wallpaper. And at first I was like, okay, that's gonna be all right, but it really didn't. The gray blue really didn't match what I was going for, so I just I changed it at the very end. But it kind of matches a little tapestry. Oh, this sink, oh my gosh, I love this sink because it has clutter inside of the sink. I'm like, that is so accurate. I was actually reading the description of this pack. Well, it wasn't a description, but it was what I think the creator was reminiscing about. And it was like, oh, this reminds me of, home and how cluttered the kitchen was. And I was like, oh yeah, I can totally see that. And then whenever I was seeing all the items and had this story in my head, and I'm just like, oh yeah, this is accurate to how my kitchen would look. My kitchen looks nothing like this. Mine's just an apartment kitchen. But like during the holidays, everything is everywhere. Everything is a mess. And good luck trying to make it useful. And so the story here is like, I was making cookies, and that's it. The stages of making the cookies, I guess. And I was going to add a little table over to the side, but I was just like, no, that's okay. That's not the purpose of this. It's just the kitchen, not necessarily the dining room. So I thought that those containers were a little bit bigger, but they weren't. I do like that they were stackable. I know that in the description it talked about stacking, but I didn't think of it. And so like whenever I was messing with the pack and all of the items, there's like new items populated as I was going through and like going back and forth between tabs and stuff. So I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. I do wish that on the display there, like the little recipe, I do wish they had like little cookies on there. I mean, I didn't check the swatches. I should have, but I didn't. But that would have worked perfectly. So it just shows a piece of bread, which it's fine. I mean, it's just a small little detail, but it's all good. And yeah, and I also added the little mixer in there because, I mean, if you have a mixer, you'd use that. So, and I do like the pictures all around the fridge or on the fridge, because that's kind of what mine looks like. And see, that wouldn't slot, like the cereal box would not slot on the fridge, so I had to make it, and it kind of cuts off, but it's pretend. So, I mean, we've all put things in places where they don't fit, so it kind of works. And I wish that they released a coffee pot that kind of matched the little holder there. That would have been nice. And I put the cleaning cabbie or little cubby on the counter because it's just like, okay, so after all this is done, we're going to clean everything. So it was kind of there, but as I progressed through making this build, the cubby kind of pushed off to the side. I do like the fruit stand thing, and I like the bag of groceries. I think that's nice. And I was going to add this little peanut butter and J picture on there, but I decided not to because it wasn't part of it. Well, I did for a little while. I did that because for one of my classes, I had to make instructions for something, and I decided to do a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And so I was like, oh, that's perfect. I love that. But I think I eventually changed it to something else, to like a whisk or something, or like a spatula. So this looks like a crazy mess right now. It makes me so anxious because it reminds me of my kitchen sometimes whenever it's a mess, and especially during the holidays. And I realized that that window would not work over that tapestry like a normal wallpaper, so I had to move that. And it looks kind of wonky now, but I think it kind of sets the theme, because it's like, do you ever get those little sticky things on there correctly? I don't know. I never was able to. So, and I was going to use this little tile, like the brick tile, I guess, but it wouldn't make sense for the decorations because it's like you can't really do that. So I eventually changed it back to the normal wallpaper. And I love that little extra little cabinet that you can use. I love that idea because, you need some extra room. It almost reminds me of one of those portable dishwashers. So I thought of that whenever I saw that. And I was wanting to add these little aprons because it's just kind of, it's a theme. It all goes together. And I really enjoyed this build. I hope you guys do too.